Hello, I'm Dori Nando. You can catch up with all the fun on the Cosmopolitan Mix and on all our shows via podcast. Just go to My Joy Online podcast and search for your favorite show and relive those moments all over again. Only on Joy 99.7 FM, radio for discerning listeners.
Super Hits Radio, Joy 99.7.
So there was a Makola fire, and there was a committee that was set up. Now, this committee was tasked to investigate the cause of that fire. And the recommendation is that the Burns building is pulled down. This committee was chaired by the Accra Metropolitan NADMO Director, Henry Plange, and he is saying that the building poses a risk to people who will occupy it. Manuel Karanting joins us on Zoom for a quick chat about more details on that. Good morning, Manuel.
Good morning, Anima.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I hope you're fine too.
I'm very well, thank you. So what more does this report say?
Well, the report, just like you said, was set up by the Mayor of Accra, Mohamed Niaje Sowa. And indeed, they made certain critical observations in the investigation. I'll just run you through these critical observations that they made. There were 9 of them. First of all, they made an observation that there was erratic power outages. And now this was as a result of their interviews with the market folks in the structure. And they were told that there was some bit of erratic power supply, and also the use of smaller generator sets. And so on the 5th of July, as I reported from the ground, I could see even up on the floors some of the generator sets which had been bent to the ground. And indeed, this was also established by the committee's report. And also, they observed that there was exposure in this organized wiring system. And so on the beams, along the beams of the building, on the lintel and all that, you could see naked wires that had been exposed. And this was also established and observed by the committee in its investigation of the fire. Also, the use of multiple electricians and uncertified electricians. As you know, the Ghana Standards Authority, through its building code, has made it a point to require that every electrician who does wiring must be certified, and the materials that are used for the wiring must also be certified by the Ghana Standards Authority. But this committee's investigation established, or if you like, observed quite critically that that wasn't the case in the instance of this 3-story building, which went up in flames sometime in July. Also, they observed that there was a difficulty of access to water. And I'll just read a bit of it for you. It says that per the report of Ghana Water Company Limited, the Makola area on the day of the incident was supposed to have normal flow of water in the pipelines with the required pressure. However, the reality of the day saw that the pipelines were virtually empty and not flowing. The fire service suffered the situation to collect water from the hydrant in the area to fight the fire, and therefore had to travel to North Kaneshie, La, and other adjoining municipalities before they could fight the fire. And so that, according to them, contributed to the delay in dousing the flames. Also, untimely reaction of the fire service to fight the fire. This was established, according to the report, through interviews with the traders on the ground on the day. They said, and in some portions say that the traders were interviewed and they complained about the attitude and the demeanor of the personnel of the Ghana National Fire Service in their reaction to the fire outbreak. While some said the service was not ready at the given time to fight the fire, others saw their actions and comments as political. Specifically, it was stated that at the initial stage of the fire outbreak, a call to the metro officers fell flat because the officers indicated that there was no fuel and water in the tender. And this is quite critical. This is what the traders who were interviewed alleged. And as a response from the fire officers, and they say that in fact, debunked the allegation, stated that at the start, when they heard the outbreak of the fire, some officers rushed to the scene with their own fire extinguishers. But of course, it was not enough. So other observations include the absence of insurance policy, underwriting, the absence of fire warning system, the expired fire extinguishers, and lack of knowledge of the use. I'll cut through this and move on to the causes, which indeed was part of the terms of reference of this committee that was set up. Now, it's quite instructive that after their investigations, there wasn't a particular, direct cause that they could point to. And they say technically the engineers of the Electricity Company of Ghana could only suggest possible causes of the fire outbreak, since it was not clear exactly how it really started. So these possible causes, as enumerated in this report, include the generator set could be faulty. And so they explain that a faulty generator, after working for some time, becomes heated and could catch fire. Since the operator said he was in a different shop when the generator was working, any such fault could have gone unnoticed. Now, a fuel leakage from the generator set or from a nearby gas cylinder, a faulty or substandard changeover switch could also cause fire outbreak when it was when it was not operated properly. There was also a bit of human error, which meant that the operator had forgotten to engage the changeover to match the incoming supply. And then last among the possible causes, the note the use of manual or an improvised changeover switch, which sometimes involve the removal of fuses to prevent ECG's mains from feeding back to the generator set. And that these are the things that they note as possible causes. In terms of recommendations, also in NIMWA, there was a full-scale assessment of the structural integrity of this particular three-story building, which was affected. Now, their assessment, they believe that the building should be pulled down for reconstruction, since its current state is a risk to those who would like to occupy it, or to the general public who may have to do business in and around the space. And so, as a matter of urgency, Metropolitan Assembly, in partnership with the Ghana Fire Service, is recommended to ban the use of small generator sets in all buildings within the market to forestall future occurrences of fire outbreaks. And to a number of other recommendations are listed.
Okay, Manuel, thank you so much for that. We will come back to this conversation when we're doing News Desk at 10 a.m. and we can analyze it a bit more, and you can give us a few more details there. But thank you so much. So please be on standby for that. And of course, thank you to you guys for staying tuned in to us.
Yep, exactly. And unfortunately, we couldn't bring you Kofi Mole for some reason. He couldn't show up in the
on
studio
time.
on time.